and welcome to Flappity Flap Podcast with your hosts Brandon and Sarah.
Hi.
Indiana Jones 5 is in post-production or pre-production or some kind of thing.
Pre-production,
They're
probably.
making it, or they've made it. Not being directed by Steven Spielberg, not being produced or written by George Lucas. I think he produced the other ones. And so, I looked up the director, the lady from Fleabag, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Fleabag.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge, which I've not watched and I do want, but I liked her she was in Broadchurch. She was the barrister or assistant solicitor who defended, don't want to spoil her. Anyway, I like her.
Okay.
And Mads Mikkelsen is in it, and Thomas Kretschmann, who I think I've seen in other, I think he's German.
Is Mads Mikkelsen the guy that plays It?
No.
Or is that his brother or somebody?
No. You're thinking of
is it another
Skarsgård. Is it Alexander or yeah, basically Swedish. I think Mads is Danish. Is that my stomach?
Mads is the guy that cries blood in that.
Cries blood.
in that 007.
Not to sound stupid, but okay, never mind. This answered my question. I was like, Copenhagen. That's Denmark, right? And then it says Danish, so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I like him. But anyway, I don't. The director has done some stuff that I think is good. I really like 3:10 to Yuma, even though that came out years ago. He's done some other stuff I looked at. I think it'll probably be solid. It just seems weird. It's a long time since the last one.
And I feel like people were even questioning Harrison Ford's age in the last one. Why is that so funny?
Harrison's Ford. It sounds like something Gorge or
They were questioning Harrison's Ford in the last one.
Yeah, it just sounds like a landmark or something.
Harrison's Fjord.
Yes.
So I think people were questioning his age in the last one because he's kind of getting up there.
Yeah, and I just think it just wasn't as good.
How old is he now?
Although some people I think liked it better than the second one.
Is the
he's
last
got to
one...
be like 70.
Really? I would have thought he was older.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out in 2008. I like it because it's just that world.
The last one
it
had
was
Shia
definitely
LaBeouf in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
and I like him. I mean, I know he's kind of a psycho, but it definitely wasn't as strong as the others. Like when I'm in the mood for Indiana Jones, I don't go to that one unless I've really worn out the others. I've watched them recently. Yeah. I never go to Temple of Doom because that was like one of the first VHSs we had as kids.
So you watched the hell out of it?
We watched it so much, and I think
just
it's
a personal thing.
But a lot of people, I think it's their least favorite. It's darker. It's gorier. The dinner scene where they're
the
eating
monkey
baby
brains?
snakes and chilled monkey brains and
for dessert, monkey brains.
Chilled monkey brains and eyeball soup and just and then
dessert. Who the fuck eats brains for dessert? Give me a break.
And then the scene where they're in the tunnels, the secret tunnels, and they get locked in the.
Does he actually say dessert, or is that something I just made up?
I think he doesn't say that. I think
and for dessert.
No.
Also chilled, fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
You don't ever eat organ meat.
And they put the whole
chilled.
head in front of you, and then you remove the head like it's the top of a pumpkin. Wow. And then you scoop out.
How fucking theatrical.
Yeah, I remember watching as a kid with some friends, with my friend and her family, and like retching. I think that's when I discovered my gag reflex. Was like,
yeah, monkey brain.
Still does it.
I just think personally the brain should just not be eaten. Should not eat the brain, the heart, or.
But that's where you get all the knowledge and the vitality from the creature that you've slaughtered.
Fair enough.
I think
they're aphrodisiacs.
Oddly, the part that upsets me most is.
Is that real gagging?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Why would I fake that so hard?
So try.
They cut open the snake and all the baby snakes come out. That guy's eating the snakes.
Like saying it faster would make it.
It just made
easier.
The retches come faster. Instead of like, it was like.
So Sarah retches when talking about certain things, like boogers or apparently baby snakes coming out of a snake. I don't remember that scene very well. I just kind of remember the monkey brain scene.
You know what? We gotta look it up. We gotta watch it so that you can remember. So, because it's all in sequence. And then, yeah. And then there's a funny... And then one of my favorite scenes is they get stuck in the in like a chamber that's like a booby trap chamber, of course.
Yeah.
And they get locked in, and the ceiling starts coming down, and
Classic.
yeah, and
Classic
so
squish 'em room.
he and Short Round are in it, and they're trying to tell Willie, who's the female, who turned out to marry Steven Spielberg. What the hell was her name? I forget what her name is.
I don't know.
Kate Capshaw. That's also another reason that people don't like the movie, is she was like the most annoying female, you know, accomplice. What would you call her?
Love interest?
Yeah. She screamed a lot.
So the squish room, something funny happened in the squish room.
Yeah, so it's like, I think someone said it on a gamer channel or something, and oh my gosh, I hadn't heard anyone like meme it before, and it was so funny because I know that movie so well, and Katie and I know that movie so well. So they're trying to get Willie, the female, to like pull this lever.
Her name is Willie?
Yeah, I forget what that's like her stage name. Weirdly.
Is it because it's like
no,
Billy,
I don't think so.
Billy Joe or something? Isn't that like
Billy
a woman's?
Joe? Oh, Billy Bob? No, Bobby Sue. I don't know.
Billy Sue is a woman's name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was my old boss's name.
I was gonna say that's weird, and then I thought I shouldn't say that. Then I said it anyway.
Well, I don't know that it's that common.
Yeah.
Not that means you can make fun of it freely, but you're probably less likely to get tons of hate. Hey, my name's Billy Sue.
Billy Sue.
Billy Joe.
Anyway, so they're trying, Harrison Ford's trying to direct her to the lever because she's outside the room.
Yeah.
And there's two levers. And of course, one is
faster.
Is dry. One is dry and safe, and she goes to pull that one, and he grabs her arm, and he's like, no, the other one.
Dry and safe?
Because the room that's right before that chamber is like full of bugs.
Oh, okay.
And so the other little hole that has a lever in it is like full of bugs.
Yeah.
And I think it's slimy. So so he's trying to coach her, you have to pull it. And she like reaches in and she's like, I can't do it. And he's like, you have to. And then she's like, you do it. And he's like, Willie. And he's like, his head is just through this square. We are going to die. And he like does this face. And I think someone like a YouTuber mentioned it, and I was like, oh my God, that just makes my day.
Sounds like something maybe like Jacksepticeye, Sean.
I wish I could. I don't know that it's something you can look up if it's just like a throwaway comment in a playthrough, but it's just such a great scene. But yeah, we watched it because it was one of the few movies we had, but I kind of hate it.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. But I feel like we should watch it and like do a follow-up of like, how bad is it really? It's gory. A guy gets squashed in like a rock crusher. He's a bad guy, but there's always, in all of those movies, there's like
squashed is
someone gets
like
squashed or propellered or some kind of squashed, and it's like they're always
squashed or propellered or squashed.
I have a really hard time with those scenes because even if it's a bad guy, it's like, it's a bit, it's just a bit much.
Big bugs being squashed even makes me go, ugh.
And people are just big bugs basically. So
let alone,
full-size human.
Full-size person getting squished. Like, it's just not supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's just not supposed to happen. So anyway, I have no idea what the premise of the movie is. Like, I looked it up on IMDb. You could probably find it other places, but it was like, plot not released.
Well, I don't think they release plots for movies to be
released. I think it said it was in post-production. It's going to be released like in a year.
Yeah, all the list I looked up was all movies to be released this year,
it's
next
in
year, or the
post-production.
next. Between 2022 and 2024.
The funny thing is that, so I guess either, I don't know if Chris Pratt was like approached or he was like speculating about whether he would ever play Indiana Jones, and Harrison Ford has told him, I guess, don't. Like,
really?
He was like,
that's good.
When I'm gone, that character's done.
Wow.
Which I totally get and I appreciate on one level, but I also think is like, you don't make that decision. Like, please don't do that. Please don't ruin it.
It would kind of be nice for them to just do that. Just stop.
Yeah.
And also, how many fucking characters does Chris Pratt need to play? Mario, Garfield. There's more coming out. And,
right. Sonic's father. I don't know.
Sonic's father?
I don't know. I just was making it up.
Well, isn't Sonic's father Robotnik?
Oh, excuse me for not knowing nerd lore about Sonic.
You're gonna offend a lot of people.
I can live with that. I can live with myself. You know?
All right.
I'll have a clear conscience.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, so I guess he made like a blanket statement to Chris Pratt or Chris Pine or any of the Chris's or any other aspiring, people who would want to play that character. Hold on.
Or any other generic white men that
Yeah.
want to play Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he's basically like, that's my character.
Like, who's that Evans guy that's Captain America?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, Chris Pratt.
Maybe
some other Chris.
Maybe he said, maybe he was addressing Chris Evans. I don't know. Just
some
any
Chris
of the
or
Chris's.
Chad out there.
Yeah. Well, maybe they had approached these people specifically, or maybe they were just people who'd said, yeah, it'd be cool to play him one day. And he was like, so I think it annoys me because it's like that old man telling people what to do.
But also, it's kind of like...
I understand where it's coming from, but you don't get to make that decision, and that just irritated me.
Fair enough, but also think of it this way.
I also agree.
Think of it this way. Chris Pratt maybe should shut the hell up and just, also maybe leave the role open to someone else.
Yeah.
More capable, perhaps.
The thing is, of all the roles that Chris Pratt is monopolizing, I actually think that was the one that he might do well at. Like, he might kind of naturally fit that character more than fucking...
That's possible.
Garfield?
Action
what was
comedy.
What was it, Mario?
Is he voicing... Yeah, he's voicing Mario. I guess he's voicing Garfield, which...
Oh, that was the
I
one,
don't
yeah.
understand. I mean, you need... And Bill Murray's still alive, but maybe he doesn't want to do it.
I don't think he did. I read up on it, I think, and then I forgot what happened. But
you need someone who's like maybe older and slow pace naturally to voice Garfield. Maybe not, but it just seems weird to have him voice Garfield.
Yeah. But I don't know. I could kind of picture him. But yeah, I hope they don't. I hope this one is good. I think it's fine if, the Indiana Jones is like aging. I mean, if he's able to get around, hopefully he's not like hurting himself. Because I think he, at least in the past, would do a lot of his own stunts, I think.
I kind of hope they keep making them until he's like super old.
Oh, I was going to look up how old he was.
Like,
I don't know, though.
I hope they keep making them until he's like in his 90s or 100s.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, look at this picture. What do you think?
See how far you can take it.
Like,
Yeah, he doesn't look bad.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He just looks like a grayer version of himself.
Mm-hmm. Which is basically what we all are.
It's not like...
as we get older.
Yeah, no, he looks fine. It's not like Clint Eastwood where it's like, damn, you're playing a tough guy, but like you look
Are you standing up on your own? Like,
Ooh,
are you hiding a walker? Like, we're all bound for that. Well, unless we die young.
Not trying to be
ageist,
but when you're playing this,
oh, he looks a bit pale there. What's going on with his skin color? Is that supposed to be?
When you're playing
that doesn't
this
look good.
Tough guy who is supposed to be, jumping around, swinging from shit and flicking a rope, like when you're old, I don't know that you can be whipping a whip, not a rope. Oh my god.
You're having some problems digesting a big pasta bowl. Oh gosh.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, he looks fine.
His face looks like washed out, or like he doesn't have any color.
Well, the lighting is kind of blue. Maybe it's part of the
movie. So maybe he's got sunscreen on.
Look at the surrounding light. Everything's kind of blue.
Yeah.
So that could be
putting
his...
Well, I hope it's good because I do love that franchise, and I hope the director is able to live up to, the prior, which is not that hard considering Kingdom. The thing is, I do like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I enjoy the experience, but there's a part of you that's like, it feels off, It feels like...
Which one was that?
The one with the crystal skull.
Oh, yeah.
The one with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
I ate a lot of pasta. I ate a lot of pasta, and then I was
it
like,
was good.
I need more pasta.
It was really good. You seasoned it nicely.
Thanks.
And now you're holding your belly like a pregger.
Yeah. When I'm full from eating a lot of food, I like to pull my shirt up and hold my stomach from the bottom and the top like I'm a pregnant woman.
Like the Demi Moore
just because it's
magazine cover, right?
Yeah.
I still think we should do it. I still think we should post it, but I think a little bit of your pride is hanging on. And
it's kind of shameful how far I can push my gut out.
But I think that just shows how skinny you are, because it's noticeable when you have a bowl or two of pasta.
I look like a fat guy.
But next morning it's like
I look like
right
a skinny
back.
fat. What's that? There's a joke that Craig Ferguson makes that only pregnant women and men can be fat and skinny at the same time.
Yeah. That's you. Well, you're not fat. You're not. I mean,
That's you.
No, I just mean like today, temporarily.
No, it's okay. You aren't hurting my feelings.
But you're not, like, your stomach doesn't usually stick out.
Oh.
So that's why I can make fun of you. So I was on. So I think that. Did you have anything else to say about Indiana Jones?
I was just explaining why I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just keep fucking making the same like shit over and over. I mean, I know it's
You
different.
just said I hope they keep making him until he's like too old. And then you're
true.
like, they keep making the same old shit over and over again.
I don't contradict myself in the same breath.
Yeah. It might be good. I'll probably see it.
I guess when I realize the numbers, and they just, I mean, they call it Indiana Jones 5, right? And I think there's a Shrek 5. I don't know if that's the final
title. What?
There's a Shrek 5 coming out now.
I've only seen the first one, and I barely remember it.
I think the other ones
I wasn't like a huge Shrek fan.
The other ones are good. I think they're good. It's just, you know.
Is Mike Myers still going to voice it?
I assume so.
Did you do your research?
No.
Okay.
I just looked at the image and was like, oh, Shrek 5.
Good job.
Thanks.
So I thought this was a funny Reddit article and upsetting, disturbing, but I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Florida cop looked at girl's naked photos on her phone while driving her to juvie. He was so distracted, he hit a deer. He then gave the girl half of his sandwich, told her that sandwich wasn't free, and handcuffed her, groped her butt and breasts, and suggested a threesome with her mom.
Jesus, man.
So he's, I think he's been fired. They did an investigation. I think he maybe had other stuff going on with him, but...
Of course he did.
What is funny to me...
That's a lot of back-to-back shit going on for him to not have done weird shit in the past.
Yeah. So, I think, what is it about a sandwich in a story that immediately makes it funnier? Because that's what I thought. Hitting the deer, well, I mean, like, sad.
That sandwich
it's
wasn't
like a
free. Maybe your priorities, dipshit, shouldn't be the fucking sandwich, but should be the cruiser you just fucking wrecked.
I think that was his, I think maybe this. I think did the sandwich happen first? But why is that funny? Like, just why?
Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. But there's something about a sandwich being.
To me, it's the hills and valleys of the story. You have this hit a deer while looking at this underage girl's fucking naked photos of herself, and groped her, and the sandwich. Which is like the valley of like why even mention
like
that?
the sandwich was his way of saying I get to grope you now because that wasn't free. I paid for that.
Oh,
I think that's
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant by that.
Fuck.
So he had her in his car. And then I think for some reason he had to take her back to the hospital to be tested or something before he could take her back to juvie. So he had her. He had like multiple trips with her.
In his
no,
custody.
I think they told him like you have to take her back here and then bring her back. So she was like in his car for like 2 or 3 trips with him. I think she asked him to charge her phone and then he was later asked for the password, which she thought was weird, but she gave it to him, I guess, because he's a cop. And then he started looking through her like stuff, like I think her Instagram or Snapchat or something. Not Snapchat, but I think it was Instagram. And like then I think he like looked up a picture of her mom and maybe like asked how old she was, and then suggested that maybe they have a threesome together. So
what a psycho.
It's not funny. It's horrible. It's a miscarriage of justice or whatever. It's like perversion and
that guy's a wild card.
But like,
how could you not see him fucking? How could you not see that coming with him? Because a guy like that has to be hitting these crazy things hard every day.
Yeah, but like the fact that there was so much in this story. How many deer are there? And of course, it's like only in Florida.
To be fair though, deer just jump out in front of you. He could have been watching the road and hit the fucking deer.
But what are the odds that, like, that's the thing that partly gets you caught, is, like...
She was probably in the back, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's going through my phone. I can see him looking at pictures of me.
Yeah.
While she was, like, drunk or something.
It's possible. I mean, somebody in the comments was saying how this area is, like, the worst, white trash podunk place because they just recently left it. Doesn't mean she should be taken advantage of, but you can just imagine the things that led up, you can just imagine.
Sandwich wasn't free.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He turned off his body cam a few times. I think they were able to see at one point that when he was putting her back in the car, like her sweatshirt kind of was being lifted up or rode up, but then he like blocked her. I don't know if it was from his body cam. Oh, it must have been a camera from like the station or something. And yeah, it's just like not a very smart man, but clearly just didn't think, he was going to get caught.
How long was he on the force?
Let me see.
In other words, how long has he been assaulting people and being a fucking weirdo? Oh, this pasta.
This pasta, baby.
Oh.
It's so funny at the end of these articles when they say he did not respond to 3 phone calls from the Times seeking comment for this story. Yeah. I'm sure his lawyers and the lawyers for the police department would be like, you don't need to be talking to people. You've done enough damage.
You've done enough. Go sit in the corner.
He's 43. She's 17.
He's 43. I don't know why I expected it to be some young,
young enough. I think
guy.
That's young for...
But for a cop.
Yeah.
I assumed it was some guy that was like new on the force or something.
Well, and she'd been deemed a runaway, and I think people just, people like that take advantage of like runaways or prostitutes because they're like kind of not on the radar. They don't have parents looking for them.
I hope it would be nice if they could mark or like tag people like him to not ever allow him to be in a position of authority.
Yeah.
But they won't. He'll probably
I think it's like priests.
State.
They kind of just shuffle them around. Well,
Fucking
this
disgusting.
time, they, at least like in California, I know they do serious background checks but there's only so far back you can go. Like if someone's going to work with kids, like soccer coaches, I remember we worked on a case where the background check only went back so far. So I think it didn't catch some things. But also a lot of people, like, they go into those jobs because of that. And so they're like, there's always going to be a first time. Yeah, I can't find, let me see if any of the comments say anything. I see nothing wrong here. Police union, probably. That's what they say, get it?
Florida Police Union.
Hero cop checks young girl for weapons after feeding her and civil rights groups are upset. By Florida man standards, this isn't even that bad.
Yeah.
He said he did not believe he did anything immoral or illegal.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But admitted to breaking protocol when he did not properly transport the girl. Wow.
What a fucking buffoon.
Well, if you can't look at child porn and grope underage girls, why even be a cop?
Jesus.
Jeez, it's true.
Put him in the ground.
Hands are tied. Cops rush to check your genitals for weapons.
Check your genitals.
I thought there were comments saying how long he'd been a police officer, but...
Well, he was 43.
Yeah.
To not think he's done anything
Suggesting
wrong.
A three-way with her mom.
And
assuming do you really think half sandwiches are free?
Assuming he checked her details or license before having her in custody, he knew she was underage.
Yeah.
He had to have known she was underage.
Yeah.
Not that that changes much about fucking assaulting someone, but it adds to it for sure.
He bought her dinner. He's entitled to sex. Can half a sandwich ever be called dinner? I mean, how big was a sandwich? Was it like half a sub,
Hey, I buy you dinner, now I get to touch.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, whoa, if I knew that was part of the deal, I would have just not eaten,
Mm-hmm.
What a piece. Okay, do we need to let you off the hook?
No.
Do you have anything to add? Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah.
Get shoveled in the face.
He should get shoveled in the face.
And then
he should
buried
just be
in a Florida swamp.
Yeah.
Can you be buried in a swamp? Dumped in a Florida swamp in a tarp.
These aren't
threats.
threats.
The gators to take care of you.
These aren't threats, but he should definitely
just suggestions.
He should just be put down.
Yeah.
I mean...
That guy's got a lot of time in his life left to victimize people.
Yeah, for real. And he's not getting any kind of disciplinary action.
I wonder if it'll change, especially...
Losing his job,
yeah, right. You committed assault. Sexual assault.
Of a minor.
Very definitely illegal activities.
And
whether you knew it or not.
As well. On top of it.
As well. Yes.
As well.
In addition.
On top of it.
Additionally, yeah. Enough said. I mean, it speaks for itself.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And it was on Reddit?
Yeah, I didn't believe it could be true. I thought it was, don't take this the wrong way, too good to be true.
Ooh.
But, just all the elements of it.
Yeah, too weird.
Especially the sandwich.
Too weird to be true, yeah.
Yeah, the sandwich and the deer.
I mean, deer, they jump out in front of cars all the time.
Yeah, but what are the odds that that this, I mean, it's like
The amount of
poetic
times,
justice, actual justice, kind of.
the amount of times I've been on the road and have seen a deer when it would have been too late
Yeah.
is pretty incredible.
That deer is the hero of this story, right?
I don't know that the deer knew what he was doing, what the guy was doing.
Wow. Okay. You believe that.
He's like,
You believe that if you must.
I sense a pedo is near.
Yeah. I'm going to give my life to save this girl.
Or kill her, because she's
Yeah.
in the vehicle I'm jumping out in front
I'm
of.
sure it was just a glancing blow. Like,
Sure.
maybe just hit its hind quarters. And the deer was probably fine. Ran off, with the knowledge that it had done something good.
Just rolled over
paid
the
it
front of
forward.
the car.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that they kill more people every year than bears.
Wow.
Yeah, because they just leap out in front of you.
I'm just picturing a deer like strangling someone with their hooves.
The last time I drove up to Oregon.
Really? You just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just nothing?
Sorry, yeah.
I'm sorry it was so bad.
Choking them with a garrote.
That was just like...
With the hooves.
Trying to... But they can't because they're not
That's a
hands.
horrifying thought.
It's not because it'd just be crushed. They just have to crush you. Crush your windpipe.
Yeah, that's why it's horrifying.
That is horrifying. But the way I was picturing it was just like a cartoon deer like struggling
like
because
they
they don't
you
have
in a
hands.
chokehold in their elbow
There
pit.
you go. Yeah, that works better. Did you have anything else you want to say?
I don't know. My brain's not working right now.
Let's let you go and digest that large volume of pasta. And we'll go watch the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom scenes. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.